Hey y'all, so it was another Sunday and another good Potomac episode. Whew, y'all get comfortable because the good Potomac episodes, the videos are longer. I'm pretty sure this is going to be 30 minutes, so yeah, enjoy. So we open the episode with Mia, and they're packing to get ready for Wendy's trip. She's saying that she's going to leave her kids by her mom for the first time. She's a little nervous and anxious because she just wants her kids to feel comfortable around her mom. So Gordon tells Mia that he's not really excited about the trip because, they haven't been on a trip in a long time together with just them, but he's also going on a trip with people that he doesn't really know. So he says that he's going to support her, but he's not excited about going to this. At least he lets Mia know when he goes out, he's going to have a good time, a fun time. This is foreshadowing because he did give us a warning that he likes to turn up. And speaking of disclaimers, Mia lets him know that she's beefing with one of the ladies over this video shoot that she recently was a part of. She also lets Gordon know that Candace came for her mom, and it's okay to come for her or anything, but bringing people's mom into it is below the belt. And I agree. Now, Mia was being shady about Candace's video shoot being low budget. It was. Is it really shade if it's a fact? But for Candace to just say, oh, your mama low budget, it's kind of just taking it a little bit too far. Candace could have just went for her easy reads like, oh, you're a hoe, you're a prostitute, you got big feet, you got surgery. What her mom got to do about it? It was very heavenly. But Mia says she is not going to tolerate it. She said that she is open to moving forward with Candace, but if Candace want to be in high school, we can take it to high school. And she lets Gordon know if she does it again, we gonna fight. Oh, and by the way, Candace lovers, you might want to stop the video now because this ain't gonna be your video. I'm just letting you know. Speaking of which, we're with Candace right now as she's getting ready for Wendy's trip as well. So it looks like she's having a little lunch with her husband, Chris. Again, thank God Chris is in the scene with her because Candace by herself can't do it. But again, Candace is pointing out Chris's drinking. This is like number 3 or 4 this season. I don't know if production being shady, but this is almost a concern because every time we see Chris at his home, he is drinking. And that Maker's Mark bottle is almost empty. He looks like he drinks a lot too, but you know what? As much as I drink, I can't judge anybody's alcohol consumption. They talking about her music career. Y'all, I did hear that Anita Baker gave Candace a shout out. Good for her. Miss Baker, though, bless her heart. I know that's a hell of a cosign to have, but I think I'm gonna wait to hear from somebody more current like a Missy Elliott or something. I'm not saying Candace ain't talented, but I'm just not interested. So now Candace is talking to Chris about her experience at Giselle and Robin's reasonably shady event and how she confronted Mia about her going to her mom, asking about Chris being on the payroll. She said that Mia said her video shoot was low budget. And then she tells Chris, well, I told her that her mama is low budget. And she said it escalated from there. And it seems like she has no remorse about it. Chris is just listening. And then Candace proceeds to go after her leaky booty, her facial features, what else? Her clitoris, as well as her big feet. Everything to do with Mia's body. So Candace tells Chris about Wendy's couples trip, and he seems okay with the idea. We also see in a flashback that Candace and Escala went on a couples night out, and we meet Escala's husband. Chris says he likes him, and hopefully he's going as well. I'm guessing the scene wasn't interesting if it was a flashback. Of course, Chris brings up his disdain for Michael Darby, but we know Michael Darby hates being around the other ladies, so he's definitely not going. Okay, so next scene we are with Robin Dixon, somewhere in Maryland, definitely not in Potomac, and Ashley is coming over with her baby to visit. Robin is saying how excited she is about her new house she's building. It should be ready in 2 months. No word if it's in Potomac. Let me know in the comments if you know that information. So as they're talking about Robin and Giselle's event, Ashley brings up how Candace was just, off the chain. And Robin was like, yeah, it's like how she called Mia's mom low budget. And then Robin lets Ashley know the backstory behind Mia's mom, like she's a drug addict and they're working on their relationship. And of course she thinks that Candace was in the wrong there and she went a little bit too far. According to some of y'all, the Candace lovers, that everything is fair games for a bitch that you hate. But that's fair, and like I said in my last video, you better have the hands to back it up. And look at Robin making sense in her confessional. She's saying that it's interesting that Candace is going after somebody's mom when people continuously go after her because of her mom. Like, how would she feel if somebody came after Miss Dorothy? And from what I've seen, Mia has always respected Candace's mom, and I don't think she would go after her mom. And now they're on the topic of Robin versus Wendy, and Robin still thinks Wendy is an asshole. Side note, Ashley's earrings in this scene is very distracting because they are ugly. I'm sorry, just had to say that. So as they're talking about Wendy's trip, we see Giselle sent a message on the group chat saying she does not feel welcome by the host and will not be going. Giselle feels that Wendy was being nasty to her, but she must have forgot how Robin and herself went after Wendy with those questions, those shady ass questions. They should have expected that response out of Wendy. Like, stop coming for Wendy and she won't light your ass up. Of course, Robin, in referring to her Lord and Master Giselle, says that she doesn't blame her for not coming. So now we're checking on Wendy as she's packing. I gotta say, talk about a second season glow up. Wendy is bringing it, and I want to see her back for another season. Like, this is light and day. This is what happens when you listen to the audience and come back swinging. I really love Wendy this season. Now, if you go back to my review for season 5, go and check that out, y'all, if y'all just joining my channel. I wasn't really feeling Wendy. It was because she was trying to, get on the winning team with the Green-Eyed Bandits. But now that she's on her own, she's thriving. Oh, her dog is so cute. Too bad I hate animals. You know what? I don't hate animals. I just hate picking up after animals. If someone can clean up after my dog, then I will get a dog. If I was in a relationship, maybe I'll get a dog, but by myself, I can barely take care of myself. I can't take care of no dog. But anyway, enough of Chris's business. While the trip is only 2 days, you would have thought it was 4 from the previews. Maybe it's 3 days and 2 nights or something. Cause just 2 days, really? So Wendy's husband is wondering who's confirmed to go. And now Wendy is about to talk about the group chat. So they show us that Wendy actually responded to Giselle's message of saying that she didn't feel welcome by the host and isn't coming. Wendy responds that my invitation to all of you still remains, and I hope to see all of your beautiful faces this weekend. Let us lead with love and light, and the rest will fall into place. I'm packing nothing but positive energy on her end. So then after that, we go back to Ashley and Robin discussing it, and Robin responded, yes, thank you ladies for celebrating reasonably shady with us. Enjoy your trip, ladies. Shade, shade, shade on Robin's part. And of course, since Giselle isn't coming, Rob chicken shit ass ain't going either. But you know what? It's okay. We don't need the Green-Eyed Bandits on this trip. I really think that they think that without them, it's not going to be interesting, and boy, were they wrong. Ashley says that Michael isn't coming because he's going to be taking care of the babies. I mean, we knew he wasn't going to come. Robin says the reason she ain't going is because she don't feel comfortable around Wendy. She can't be herself. No. If Giselle was going, you would have went. It sucks because Robin is so tolerable by herself, but when she's added to Giselle, like, she just seemed like such a minion, you know? Damn, Ashley. So she says she's upset that Robin and Giselle ain't coming. Like, she don't give a damn about Wendy. She want them to come. So next scene, we're with Karen as she's getting ready for the trip. All this Louis luggage for 2 days. It looks like Ray isn't coming for the first day. He's coming for the next one. And then Ray seems excited to go. He's wondering which of the husbands are going. He's like, is Michael coming? And Karen says she doesn't think he is. And then he asks, is Juan coming? The way Karen responded, she was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now, y'all, is Juan Dixon coming? Say it with me. Of course not. Just saying. So now Ashley arrives because she's riding with Karen on this trip. So as they're getting in the car, Ashley holds up her family portrait of herself and Michael and her kids, and she says, Michael says hi. Ray is like, oh, yeah, that's nice, yeah. It must suck that everybody on this cast hates your husband. So now we're with Wendy as she arrives to the property, and this looks nice and very peaceful. And it's one house for everybody. All right, so they walk in the house. I mean, it's cute. It's very very Hamptons kinda. It's not super luxurious, but it's cool. It's nice. Wendy says it is 7 bedrooms. There's no extra cottage to segregate anybody. They'll all be under one roof. Now, are all the rooms equal? That's yet to be determined. I'm just noticing that this house is what Giselle thinks her house looks like. So Mia and her husband arrives. Mia be on time for all the events. Y'all notice that? So when they get out, they're expecting valet. Mia is expecting somebody to get her bags because she says she ain't carrying shit. So they go in, they're greeted, and then Wendy's asking, where's y'all bags? Y'all not staying? They're like, oh, we're waiting for the valet to park our car and bring everything in. Wendy's like, see, what had happened was, and then very funny moment, Gordon hands his keys to Wendy's husband. So they decide to take a few shots before the other ladies get there. And you know what? I love Mia and Wendy getting along. Like, I like them more as friends than enemies, you know? Like, with Karen and Giselle, I like them more as enemies than friends. So yeah, it's really nice seeing them get along. Like, they really mesh. We see Mia in the confessional again, giving us a little tiny disclaimer about her husband, saying when they're at home, you know, he's a teddy bear, but when they're out, he's G, and he's gonna turn up in his old man way. So Mia's telling Wendy that this is the first time she left her kids with her mom, and I forgot Wendy didn't know about Mia's mom, so then Mia tells her backstory, and then it clicks to Wendy like, oh, Candace just called your mom low budget, and she can see how that comment could have struck a nerve with Mia. Even though she was being shady, it's still a low blow. But as I said 2 episodes ago, I don't think it would have mattered to Candace that if she knew about Mia's mom's situation, because she knew that Ashley just finished having a baby and still called her wide. So yeah, I just think Candace can be nasty on purpose. Ooh, and Mia hits the nail on the head. When she thinks of Candace, she thinks of spoiled brat, and that's just how she came on the show. She is a spoiled brat who always wants to get her way. And us knowing about her mom's situation only confirms it. Mia says she would never come after somebody's mom. So next scene, we're back with Ashley and Karen as they're driving to Wendy's. And Ashley is asking Karen about her upcoming vow renewal ceremony and if everyone's invited. Karen says she's in a place to invite all the ladies. I feel like Karen doesn't really hold a grudge. Like, does she ever disinvite anybody? I think most of the time the people that are beefing with Karen, they just decide they don't want to go to her event. So we get a flashback of Karen talking to Ray about inviting Giselle. And Ray says he has no problem inviting Giselle. He's wondering, who is Giselle gonna bring? He's thinking she has nobody, but he's like, maybe she'll bring the hairdresser. Okay, for shade on Ray's part. Ashley then asks Karen, does she think Giselle and Robin are gonna come on the trip? And she says she doesn't know, but she hopes they do. And then production cuts to what Robin and Giselle are currently doing. Robin is cutting her kids' toenails, and we see Giselle in her house picking up trash. Well, I'm glad we got that out the way, because I don't think we're going to see either of the Green-Eyed Bandits for the rest of the 30 minutes of this episode. We're now back with Wendy, and in her confessional, she says that Robin and Giselle are welcome. If they don't want to come, then that's on them. So now we see that Candace and Chris has arrived to the property. We have Candace singing as she comes in, of course. The first person Candace sees is Mia, but she said in her confessional she's going to try to remain cordial. As she then talks about Mia being a giant and cracking the foundation of the floors with her big feet. So before this scene goes left, I really do think that if Candace and Chris came last, we probably would have avoided all of the craziness that's about to happen. And as Wendy says that, you know, if you don't have GVO, Candace finishes her sentence with, then you can GTFO. And as Candace is like, ha 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 ha, like we cut to Mia and she's just looking at her like all annoyed. She's like, damn bitch, I mean, it was clever, but it ain't that funny. We then cut to Karen and Ashley in the car again, and they're discussing about the husbands, and they're talking about Mia's husband, how, oh yeah, he's really nice and he's chill. Now we're back in the house, and the first thing he says is, I am a strip club connoisseur. Then Mia shouts, that's where he found me, and you can hear Candace under her breath says, yes, we know. A little bit of shade, but thankfully they probably didn't hear that. So Mr. G is clearly lit. He's saying he don't have to go to the strip club no more because he has Mia. And that's fine, he loves his wife, but everyone's looking like, okay, he had a lot to drink. Oh Lord, so here we get to the uncomfortable conversation. He says he loves white women, and yeah, this is not the climate to be saying that on here especially. I'm sure a lot of people had thoughts about that. But then Chris is like, well, I like black women. So now Mia's husband is now imitating himself humping someone, and production is having a field day with this. They are elongating this scene, and I am uncomfortable. Oh my God. Next scene. The cameraman is now just analyzing everyone's facial expressions of judgment. But I'm confused. Like, is he saying that they bring white women to the bedroom, or he just like white women in general? What's going on? And he makes it worse now. We've gone from humping to stroking, and now he keeps doing this. And again, can we please move on? We then hear from Mia in her confessional that G is 68 years old, okay? So he gonna get old man drunk, and old man drunk, I would think, is a little inappropriate, okay? So, like, if Ray got drunk, I'm sure Ray would be saying some crazy shit too. And now we have the next person to arrive, and it's Ascale and her husband, who we're seeing for the first time. As soon as they walk in, you have G saying, who the fuck is that? So as we can see, they still taking shots and yelling GVO. I'm just getting nervous now because the more liquor, the more chance for chaos to happen. So they all move to the living room area where there's snacks, and then G moves outside, I'm guessing to collect himself. Everyone is talking about how drunk he is, and then we have Candace and Ascala going down the hallway to look for their rooms. Oh, so the reason why G went outside is to talk to the person from the G-Wagon dealership, and he puts him on speakerphone. I guess he wants everybody to know that he's buying his wife a G-Wagon and she can customize it, which is really nice, but the husbands are like, okay. I mean, I think he just wants to show that he's doing a nice gesture for his wife. He is being old man drunk about it, but still, it's a little uncomfortable, but still, nothing is problematic yet. So Mia and Gordon are talking back and forth, and I think he's trying to tell her something, and then in the midst of it, he says, well, I don't have that many chances to tell you shut the fuck up. And that's when everybody's like, oh. Now, at this point, I was a little uncomfortable because I don't like it when, when I see husbands telling their wives to shut the fuck up. I mean, that's a red flag. Mia seems a little bit unbothered by it. Now, he didn't tell her to shut the fuck up. He just said that he don't get many chances to tell her shut the fuck up. So then he tells everybody that they have like a wedding anniversary coming up, 8 years, and then he says 7 years too many. Some more uncomfortable laughter continues. So now we're with Candace and Ascala in one of the rooms, and now Candace is talking about Mia's husband to her. So she's saying how wild her husband is, and let's pause right quick. So someone brought up a good point. My friend Carlos on Twitter, he said on the Jersey franchise, no one says anything about the husbands on there, how wild they be, they be going ham. But soon as you see like a black husband on one of the shows right here, it's like, oh my God. So like, let's not give Gordon too much. He's not being as wild as Joe Gorga, because Joe Gorga is way worse. Oh my God, Candace did not compare Mia's husband to Michael. She's explaining to Ascala that they're both old, they've lived a while, they both had previous spouses. Wait a minute, Candace, your man has 3 children before he met you and probably had 2 or 3 spouses. Not sure if he married them or whatever, so why is she talking right now about somebody's husband? Because we can talk about the husbands. That's a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reference. So then Wendy barges in and was wondering what they're talking about, and she joins in on the conversation. Not talking about Gordon, but she's just listening. Like, can we let this man have a good time? Like, he hasn't done anything too out of pocket except for the shut the fuck up comment, which I still think was a joke. So now Ascala's saying something at home ain't right. By the way, I'm glad Ascala came because she is very close to taking Robin's champagne flute. Candace is talking about age gap, and really, are we going there? Because Karen has an age gap, Ashley has an age gap. I mean, who cares? Oops, so as Candace is still talking about Mia's marriage to her husband, she walks in and she's wondering, oh, are your ladies talking about me? At least they admit that they were. And then Scully asks, did he tell you to shut the fuck up? She's like, probably. She then asks, is there anything wrong with that? And then Candace is like, me and Chris talk like that, but you shouldn't do that in mixed company. At first I was like, wait a minute, is Candace the authority on etiquette now? And then this isn't even her trip. Now, she could say that it made her uncomfortable, but instead she told Mia that y'all shouldn't do that in mixed company. I don't know, I just thought it was just overstepping. But then Mia says she don't have an issue with it, so what else is going on? So after that, Wendy is trying to open the dialogue between Candace and Mia, talking about Mia's mom. And she tells Mia, well, I didn't tell them about your mom, but maybe you can tell them. And then Candace is like, well, what does that have to do with me? And then Wendy brings up their argument from the Reasonably Shady event. But before Mia can explain, Candace says the reason why she brought Mia's mom into it is because she was talking to her mom. But Mia didn't talk about your mom at all. She actually had great things to say about her. She was just talking about your husband to your mom. Which is shady, but you don't have to talk about her mom. Mia even then tells Candace that she's trying to explain to her that I actually hope to aspire to be like your mom. A compliment. But then Candace, she said, well, she wasn't found in the strip club. Now see, Mia was trying. And then Candace came with that, and I was just like, damn, really? Candace is not giving Mia any grace, and I can see this going left very quickly. I do think in this moment now that Mia should just say, okay, it was being shady, but Mia's saying, well, I'm a CEO, and then I point out stuff like this, I have a business, and Candace isn't falling for it, so she keeps trying to check Mia in this moment. Ascala then tags herself in and says, this is not a business meeting, this is a friend's trip. And then they're arguing, and now we're back to Ashley and Karen, who are still not there yet. Candace is going after Mia again, calling her a hoe, and Gordon is her pimp. But unfortunately, Mia has still not been able to get a word in to tell Candace the background on her mom, so she can stop talking about her mom. Wendy then checks on Mia mid-argument to see if she's okay, and Candace is asking, why are you asking her that? And she says, well, she knows how it feels to be ganged up on by two people. And, you know, Ascala and Candace are tag teaming Mia right now. Pretty bad. But I just wish Candace would have just held on to her reads right quick to just let Mia talk about her mom. Candace then goes into her bag of tired reads and talks about her big-ass feet again. Mia's like, what's wrong with my feet? I like my feet. Seriously, like, is big feet really a read? Is it? Hands in the audience. Hands. Is having big feet a read? Candace is just throwing every insult at Mia, like, until one sticks. But Mia, for some reason, she's just unbothered. She can still have a smile on her face while you're reading the hell out of her. Mia then takes a call from her best friend while they're arguing because she's still unbothered. So as the ladies exit the room and Mia's talking on the phone, she is just like, yeah, my rich friends are calling. Well, not with these broke bitches in front of Candace. And then Candace then says, your mom is a broke bitch. Again, y'all see what's happening? Like, Candace is trying to find any read that sticks that'll get under Mia's skin. And now she knows that it's her mom. She keeps going after her mom. This is like number 2, I want to say. Now she's sex shaming her, calling her a street crawler, night walker. So we got 5 minutes to go, and I'm waiting on the salad toss. That's what I'm waiting on. So finally, Karen and Ashley arrive to the property, not knowing what they're about to get into. And thankfully for Mia, like at least Karen and Ashley are an ally to her, because I know Ashley don't fuck with Candace. At least when Karen and Ashley arrive, there's a pause on all the chaos. We see Mia call Candace candy ass. So now everybody's in the living room and Wendy is giving out room assignments. So then she says Karen and Escala has the luxury of picking their rooms first because they were with her in the cottage. After that is going to be Ashley, who she says put her babies down for a minute with her husband to come here because she knew it was difficult for her. And then she chooses Mia, and then Candace is last. And Candace deserves that. That is the karma for putting Wendy in the cottage house. Candace looks a little bothered that she's last, but I mean, girl, you were trying to suck up to the green-eyed bandits and now your friends ain't here. So yeah, you get the worst room. Like, why is she complaining? Like, it was shade that she put Wendy in the cottage. So Wendy is just returning shade with shade. Wendy then says if Giselle and Robin decide to come, they can pick their rooms after that too. So after that, Ashley then asks Mia, is she okay? And then Mia is telling her about Candace while Candace is right behind her. So then Mia says, this girl right here is being mean. Now, she didn't call her a bitch. She didn't call her see you next Tuesday. She just said Candace is being mean. And it's a fact, she is. So Candace overhears me and is like, I am right here. If you're gonna talk about me, at least include me in the conversation. And Mia's like, well, fine, come in. And then Candace, she is ready. She is ready to read. And poor Ashley, she's just like, I just asked what was going on. The fellas see what's going on and they make sure to exit stage left. And damn, so Candace just runs up on me and is like, I heard you call me mean. And then Escala on her left is like, Mia, I heard you call us broke bitches. Now Mia, if you're gonna call them broke bitches, you gotta own it. Don't be saying like, oh, well, I didn't. Nope, you did. So stand in that. So now Candace tells Mia that she needs therapy. Okay, I mean, coming from Candace, I mean, it's rich, but all right. She's calling Mia a leader, saying that she needs to remind people how rich she is, how affluent she is. She's a CEO, head of her business. Candace, have you watched Housewives? Most of these ladies do that across all franchises. And then Escala, she's jumping in the conversation. I mean, she got to work for that champagne flute, so I don't blame her. And now she's calling Mia classist. Mia tries to explain herself, and I guess she's using her hands, and Candace warns her about the hands. And then Mia, she's like, I'm getting nervous, y'all, because we've seen this before last season. I'm glad Wendy is trying to get into the middle. But Candace she's trying to read Mia right now. Now, y'all see how close they are, right? Right? And now we getting all this, the hands. We in dangerous territory right now. Candace is doing this in her face saying you need to watch your motherfucking mouth. Mia then looks like she's walking away. She's grabbing her bag. She looks she's still doing the unbothered thing. She tells Candace, I have no issue with you, but Candace keeps going. She's like, you fucking disrespectful. Someone needs to tell you where to go. I feel like Candace knows she's on the roll. She's trying to make good TV. She's trying to read Mia. I mean, I'll give it to Candace. She's reading the hell out of Mia, but it's just not landing with Mia, so Candace is trying to like go for the jugular right now to make her bother. Now Mia's trying to walk away, and now Candace is yelling, where is your pimp? Where is your pimp? Mia then yells, pimp, where you at? Your hoe's here. The hoe is here. The hoe is here. At least she's a good sport. Damn, and we see her husband sitting right there just watching them go at it. I mean, at least he's not inserting himself, so he ain't that drunk, y'all. Now, Candace, you wouldn't like anybody talking to your husband, so I don't know why you talking to hers. You crossing the line. So at this point, Mia is walking away, but Candace is still antagonizing and trying to provoke Mia. And then now she says she's hungry and then throws a little bit of the salad leaf in Mia's direction. The ladies are just watching this right now. And then Mia's like, you need to grow up. Now y'all see Candace, right? Y'all see y'all girl. You started with me and you need to learn how to finish. Now, this is the look Karen had. And this is all of us watching. Because we know what happened last season. Talking about telling somebody to learn how to finish. Okay. This look says it all. This is on my Twitter right now. Like, Karen knew because she sees what's about to go down. So Mia goes back to arguing with Candace. They're going back and forth. The hands are getting close. And I think Mia calls her low budget again. And then Candace again says, your mother's low budget. Then tells her to go cry about it in her room. And this further proves that she doesn't give a damn what Mia's mom's story is. Candace is just trying to provoke Mia. Now, after the low budget comment, Mia's like, you know what? Whatever. And then Candace is going, she's being very hostile right now. So if Mia popped her right in that second, I knew she gonna be crying to the cops. Karen then intervenes and tells Candace in this moment what she's doing and going after her mom. I'm glad Karen stepped in because this time at least we can stop a fight from happening. But Candace, she's still running that mouth of hers. Still. Karen is now still in the middle as these ladies are going back and forth. Mia looks like she's had it. She grabs some of the salad and throws it in Candace's direction. Mia then walks off unbothered, and then we see Candace picks up some salad, then throw it in her direction too. And yes, I did throw some salad at my camera for a dramatic reenactment. Yes, I did. Oh my God, and at that moment, that is where the episode ends, y'all. I knew they were gonna end it on the salad toss, but wow. Did y'all see that? I mean, first and foremost, this was an amazing episode. Potomac is on a roll, y'all. And second, I want to say that Candace has still not learned her lesson from the Monique situation. Like, remember in the beginning of the season, and then after season 5, she was like, I'm so traumatized. And do you see her behavior? She has learned nothing. So if Mia bopped her in the head or popped her ass in the mouth, I wouldn't have said nothing because she was being reckless. If you got a reckless ass mouth, your hands better be just as reckless. So thankfully it didn't come to blows, but in that situation, both ladies were at fault, but Candace was taking it to a level where she wanted Mia to react. I have salad everywhere in front of me, y'all. I'm gonna pick this up, but yes, I had to do the reenactment myself. Boom! Sorry, I had to do it again, one more time. Anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. We get a preview for next week, and we see there is a plot twist. The Green Eye Bandits are actually going to Wendy's trip. Now, I think the only reason they went was because they heard the drama was popping and they wanted to be a part of it. And Robin is on notice. She should have been going to that trip because the Skylar's going to take her champagne flute right out of her hand. But yeah, y'all let me know whose team you're on. What do y'all think about this incident? I think both ladies are at fault, but Candace took it to another level. Anywho, y'all, I cannot wait till the next episode. I'm gonna pick this salad off my floor. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for Salt Lake City. Bye.